Hey everyone, AngryHoneyBadger here. It's time for us to take a look at a new quick build. I know we were going to make a full build for Renekton, but that footage actually went corrupt, so we're just going to go ahead and revert back to a quick build for him for now. Hopefully look forward to a full-length build of him in the near future. But let's go ahead and take a look at Renekton today by starting off with his runes and his masteries. As for the rune page I've been taking with Renekton, there's a few different versions I like to do, but typically kind of just a generic standard one I usually go with is attack damage marks, armor seals, magic resist per level glyphs, and then I actually have been enjoying the flat health regen quintessences. That teamed up with a Doran shield as your first item is really good health regen early on in the game and allows you to stay in lane a lot longer and exchange hits. If you wanted to take movement speed quints, you could do that, and if you wanted to take cooldown reduction glyphs, you could try that as well, but I like the magic resist because it scales very well into the late game. As for the masteries page I take when I'm playing Renekton, what I do is the 9-21-0 in the 9 in offense to pick up a little bit of damage there. 21 mostly in defense. We build our Renekton fairly tanky because he usually can live a lot longer in fights and contribute a lot better as kind of a melee tank. And so that's what we do there. We get 21 in the defense, just kind of get beefy, and a little bit in the offense. As for Renekton's abilities, at level 1 I typically put a point into my Cole the Meek, which is his Q ability. I will usually be maxing this out first. It's what I like to do. It does some decent damage and helps you with a little bit of life coming back in lane. At level 2, typically put a point into his Ruthless Predator, which does stun people, which is kind of nice, especially if people are trying to gank you early, or if you're just trying to stop them, if you're going to counter gank them. And we will be maxing this out. I usually max this out last, but we put a point into it at level 2. Level 3, you put a point into your Slice and Dice, which allows you to go through enemies, and if you go through them once, you can then activate it again to get even more distance covered if you're trying to chase or get away. Pretty helpful there, and it's just pretty awesome anyways. So it's going to also reduce armor when it hits units, so very nice for then chunking out their life. But we're going to go ahead and max out his Q ability first, his E second, his W last, and don't forget to put points into your ultimate at levels 6, 11, and 16. As for the items I like to take when playing Renekton, at level 1, typically start off with that Doran's shield and a health pot. Pretty much start this way almost every time. If you're going to be going up against somebody with a little bit more damage, you could start off with a cloth armor and more pots if you wanted to do that, but this will usually treat you fairly well. Those first few trips back, you know, boots are pretty smart, but I usually try to get is that Giant's Belt and that Chain Vest, especially against those top laners that are physical damage. If I'm doing really good and I'm not worried about their damage, I will also start to get my Brutalizer a little bit sooner because it's good with the Armored Pen, the damage, and the cooldown reduction. I will be building these off into my first core items, which are, in fact, either my Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads. Pick up the ones that you need best for you. And then the Sunfire Cape, the Spirit Visage, and then the Black Cleaver. So after that, the full build starts to look a little bit like this. We got our boots, the Sunfire, the Spirit Visage, the Black Cleaver. I usually then pick up a Randuin's Omen for even more health and armor, and then a Ravenous Hydra to help me with damage, lifesteal, and health regen. And then, if you need some options, if you don't need one of those, if you want to try something else just a little bit different, you can consider picking up a Guardian Angel. Pretty helpful there, obviously. We all know what that does. You can pick up a Maw of Malmortius if you need more magic resist. You want a little bit more damage. I've seen a few people do the Iceborne Gauntlet. It's not terrible. You lose out on the health if you're going to replace this with the Omen. But you still get some more cooldown reduction then, and then obviously that group area slows pretty nice after abilities. And then Frozen Mount's never a terrible option if you want to keep the slow on, but other than that, it's not super necessary. You can use that if you want that, but it's got good health and a little bit of damage. But that's going to be pretty much a quick build for Renekton. Try it out, see how it works for you. It works pretty well for me almost all the time, once you get him down and just play him. But quick builds will be back on track next time, and I'll just see all of you guys in the next build video. Anyways, we're going to talk about his abilities first, but first we're going to get a little bit of a fight. I go a little bit, hit him a couple times, now I'm in his minions, he ignites me, he moves over to my minions, I ignite him, and I will pick up the first blood as I am popping health pots to make sure I don't die from the ticks, and first blood shall be mine. Hooray for that.